Hey guys, this is Josh Farley back with another video. In this video, if you guys don't know, I actually am still waiting on a replacement for my Waveform 4x4 antenna. I recently made a few videos on my channel about talking about the cable breaking on that. And they actually did reach out to me via email. And they actually told me that they're going to send me a replacement cable. So I gave them my order number, and they're in the process of doing that. So that's definitely a good sign. So I will be up and running shortly. I probably would give it like a few days to a week or so before I actually receive that cable. Let's actually talk about what I'm actually doing in this video today. So it's actually 8:53 a.m. on a Tuesday. I'm not actually going to be going into work today. I actually have a vacation day today that I took for an extra day off. Basically, I've been using the Chester Cheetah version 2 gateway slash modem, whatever you want to call it, without the waveform antenna. It's a third-party gateway that allows band locking and network mode and stuff like that. So the problem I've actually been having with the antennas itself, like the default antennas for the Chester Cheetah version 2, is that it actually keeps switching back to 4G on me because the antenna is not being as strong, strong as the waveform antenna is. So the main reason that I got the waveform antenna is because I wasn't getting a good enough reception, not only with the stock T-Mobile 5G home internet gateway, but also with the Chester Cheetah version 2 cellular gateway as well. With this one, I can actually switch network modes. What I was actually using before was NR5G plus LTE. And when I have that on, I actually keep that on when I'm actually using the waveform antenna. I keep on RG or NR5G plus LTE because it does seem to give me better speeds. But when I was using that just with the default antennas on the Chester Cheetah version 2, like the stock antennas that it actually came with, it keeps switching back to 4G instead of 5G. So it's going to go with the better signal, basically what it thinks is the better signal, whether that be 4G or 5G. So what I did, I came in here and I switched the network mode to NR5G only, and I left the 5G network mode to SA, which stands for standalone 5G, basically. So it's forcing it to stay on 5G, but I have actually noticed that when I did that, I've actually noticed that the internet actually will like blink every now and then. So it's definitely getting like a weaker signal for some reason on the 5G. So the 5G, like I've said before, the 5G is spotty in this area. So that very well could be the reason why, I lose connection sometimes, with it on NR5G mode, and then keeping it on SA mode standalone. So I'm just going to probably have to deal with that for now until I get the waveform antenna back. But it doesn't do it very often. Every once in a while it'll blink and stuff like that. But it also is raining today again, so that could also be playing a role in this as well. Like I've said, and they have been having problems with T-Mobile. I know a lot of people that have been having problems with T-Mobile, not only on Reddit, but also around my area as well. I've also been having problems with phone calls. I've been having problems with texting, using my data on my phone. I have T-Mobile for my phone as well, and my mom has Telomobile, and she's actually had problems as well, like talking on the phone sometimes. So I don't know what they're doing with these towers or what, but it's been like a few weeks now. They've been messing with these towers, it seems like, either with the 5G or the 4G or both. And when I actually contacted T-Mobile over chat, That was about a week or so ago, or actually longer, probably like 2 weeks ago by now. I actually contacted them, and I asked them, what was going on, because I was getting like horrendous speeds even with the waveform antenna connected. It would go like 50 to 60 on the download, which was absolutely terrible. And I just figured it was something to do with the network, and they told me that they were doing tower modernization in my area. So basically what that means is, they're basically doing work on the towers, modernizing them. I don't really mind that. That's the thing, if they're gonna, do that. But the thing is, if the speeds are gonna, suffer, I mean, that's definitely not a good thing. They should let people know that, that they're doing, tower modernization or something in your area. They should send out something, via email or something to customers, and, let customers know that. But obviously they're not going to do that, unfortunately. They're not going to, waste their time. I hate to say it, but, so that's basically what I did. I came in here and I switched the network mode, to NR5G, so it stays on 5G, only. And then I, left the 5G network mode alone. I left that on SA like it was. So hopefully when I get the waveform antenna back, I can come back in here, and I can switch it back to NR5G plus LTE, because that actually seems like it gets better speeds for me. But I still do get better speeds with the default antennas, with the Chester Cheetah version 2, with the antennas that actually come with that. I get better speeds for now, than I would with it going back to 4G, all the time. And, it's just annoying, having to reboot it every time, and stuff like that. At least now, I know it'll stay on 5G, no matter what. So that's definitely a good thing, that I can come in here and do that. So let me actually run some speed tests here and show you guys what I actually do get, with the, with it being locked like this. Let me actually, make sure it is online. And it does seem to be messing up again, so let me, yeah, saying whoops, sorry. Let me go look and make sure my router is online, because it doesn't look like it. I can guarantee you that it's probably not. Nope, it's not online, guys. So, I guess it's back to messing up again. Let me see what I can do here, see if I can do anything here. I mean, this is the thing. If this is gonna keep on, I'm probably just gonna have to switch from T-Mobile, because I'm not gonna keep dealing with this. It's just ridiculous. So it's actually saying that it is online right now, but it's not. So I don't know. I really don't know. And it's saying that I'm connected to my network, so let me see, let me go back into my, so it's saying that it's online, but it's blinking. So let me actually try a speed test here. And so now it's actually saying that it is connected to the internet. So, I mean, it's getting fast speeds, with the 5G, as you can see. It's getting, 300 and some right now, almost 400. But, if it's going to be, if it's going to be this inconsistent, I don't know. I mean, I don't really want to jump ship until I get the, waveform antenna back. But if it does this, if it does this with the waveform antenna, I'm not gonna, I'm probably not gonna keep them, because I don't know what's been going on with them, but they haven't been consistent recently. With the network, I don't know what's going on. I can actually go into the let me go into the down detector here and see what's going on, see if there's any problems. So yeah, it's still in red a lot. And as you can see here, it's still a high for the internet and the mobile phone. It's saying 38% for mobile phone and 34% for 5G home internet. So that's definitely not good. So let me actually run another speed test there. I mean, not bad on that one. 396 for the download, 3.77 for the upload, and only 24 ping. And like I've said, it is raining outside as well, so, that's definitely not bad speeds for, being locked on to 5G. And that's definitely not bad, 421. So definitely not bad on that one. It definitely seems to be staying connected now. 421 for the download, 8.78 for the upload, and 24 ping. Run one more here. So yeah, I mean, it looks like I'll, kind of have to deal with this, like I said, until I get the waveform antenna back. I'll have to keep it locked to 5G and, deal with these little cutouts, with the Wi-Fi. I mean, that's, basically all I can do. I'm not gonna keep, restarting it every time, just to get the speeds back, just to try to get it to lock to 5G again. I'll just keep it locked to 5G and, use it like it is, until I get the waveform antenna back. So not bad on that one though. 416 for the download, upload 6.83, and only 23 ping. Let me actually switch over to the Ashburn VA server, run some on that. And like I said, it is raining outside, so these aren't bad speeds for it raining outside. And it does seem to be staying connected now. Pretty much coming down out there too. It's pretty rainy out there right now. So definitely not bad on that one though. 402 for the download, 14.2 for the upload, and 24 ping. I mean, I do get mad in this video. I mean, I apologize for that. I shouldn't really say, that I'm going to switch or jump ship right away. But, I am getting, frustrated with, the way things have been going, the waveform antenna breaking, just, stuff, going wrong with stuff. I just don't, like I've said, I just don't like when things go wrong for me. It just doesn't. I realize that's life, but, a $400 antenna shouldn't snap off like that. A cable shouldn't snap off like that. And I am going to tell them that, when they email me back, I'm going to tell them, it's all well and good that you're going to replace it, but, maybe they should definitely make it better. I definitely will tell them that because, if that's going to be out in the elements, out in the rain, out in the snow, out in the wind, out in the cold, out in the summer, stuff like that. I mean, that's not good. I mean, that is not going to hold up out in those kind of elements. That's just me. I think that wouldn't, work because I have mine up in the attic, and it's hot up there sometimes. I keep it, as cool as possible, but I don't go out of the way. I'm not going to go up there and air condition it, because we don't live up there or anything. Most people don't air condition their attic or anything. If anything, they'll just put a pedestal fan or something up there like I have, and, blow that back and forth and open the windows. And that's what we do, up in the attic, during the summer. Especially since I have the gateway up there and the waveform antenna, I want to keep that stuff as cool as possible. But not bad on this one though. For the download and the upload, not really bad either, or the ping. So on that one, download 378, upload 15 even, and then 31 ping. So the ping actually did go up on this one, but still very usable speeds, especially for it being rainy out there, like I just said. So yeah, I really think that they are doing something with the towers and the network still, because it's just been acting very weird. Even when I had the waveform antenna connected, I would have to reboot it every now and then, just to get the speeds back. And that's not good. That's just not good, because anytime I have to reboot it, with the waveform antenna connected. Now I haven't had to do that as often, with the waveform antenna connected, because that's a better, antenna. Excuse me, a better antenna. But with all this stuff going on, I don't really know what to believe. I don't know if it's my equipment. I don't know if it's T-Mobile themselves. I'm leaning toward more it's T-Mobile themselves, because like I showed you guys, a lot of people are still having problems in the down detector app here. It shows, you can see all this red. And like I said, it's saying 38% for mobile phone, and 34% for 5G home internet. So that's, definitely quite a lot. So on that one, not bad though. 406 for the download, 14.9, basically 15 for the upload, and 40 ping. I'll run one more on this server and then switch back to the West Norton PA server and do some on that. The speeds do seem to be fluctuating a little bit because of the weather out there, the rain. And like I said, I'm not, using the waveform antenna either. I'm using, just the Chester Cheetah, default, how it comes out of the box, with the antennas that actually come with that. So you have to keep that in mind, that we're not going to get like 500 to 600, on that. So, because it's just not a big antenna. It's just not a bigger antenna. So, you have to keep that in mind. But these speeds are definitely not bad, at all for a rainy day, especially in the morning, 9, 10 a.m., now on a Tuesday morning. So that's definitely not bad. So on that one, definitely not bad though. 347 for the download, 14 even on the upload, and 39 ping. So I'll go back to the West Norton PA server and run some on this. And when you switch network modes like that, I switched it, basically before I started making this video. So you have to keep in mind, that sometimes that's going to mess with with the network connectivity. So, that could have been, why it was doing that, why it wasn't actually connecting, or staying connected to my, my router and stuff. So you have to keep that in mind, when you do something like that. You're forcing, the signal to be 5G. So you're basically, not allowing 4G at all. So that's going to be the only signal that it's receiving. It's going to only receive 5G. So it's going to, lock on to only 5G. And with the weather, I have noticed that with the weather, that I sometimes in certain areas in my house I can't get 5G if it's bad weather. So you have to keep that in mind, that when it's raining, I've noticed, and not only that, I've actually noticed that at the school, when I'm at work, I'm actually right next to a cell tower, that's actually up on a water tower, which actually has 5G, also. So I'm basically in walking distance from that tower at the school that I work at. And I've noticed when it's bad weather, like it's rainy weather, windy weather, any kind of bad weather, I've noticed that when I'm at work sometimes, I can't get 5G in certain classrooms that I'm actually normally in. And then I only get LTE, basically 4G or LTE, or just regular 4G. So it definitely does seem to be, like weather affected, like when the 5G, at least with the 5G anyway, basically what I'm trying to say, it seems to default to LTE or 4G LTE, whatever you want to call it, when it's bad weather. But when I have the waveform antenna, it doesn't seem to do that as much. Now, it has done it sometimes. So I'm going to have to actually experiment with that. I'm going to actually try the waveform antenna locked on 5G when I get it back. So I'm going to do that and see if I get any network cutouts or anything. I'm going to do some testing with that. And if I don't get any network cutouts, and I still get the same speeds, like 500 to 600 on the download, then I'll probably keep it that way. I'll keep it locked to NR5G instead of using NR5G plus LTE. But I'm gonna experiment with it. When I get the waveform antenna back more, I'll experiment with it more. Once I get the waveform antenna, back and hooked up how it needs to be. But like I said, they're gonna send me a new cable, so it shouldn't take too long. But I'm expecting, a few days to a week. I don't think they're gonna, really rush it out to me. It would be nice if they did, because, I told them, that I'm, pretty much experiencing problems, because I don't have the antenna, so I definitely need that antenna, to be able to get the speeds that I'm used to getting. And not only that, I just want to, have the antenna back. I paid $400 for that, and I hate, being without it. So not bad on this one though. 335 for the download, very usable. And then 9.72 for the upload and only 38 ping. So definitely not too bad. Ping actually did go up some on this one, but not, definitely not, too bad though. And I still am getting over the speeds that people normally get, because they actually say with T-Mobile, you can expect a speed, range like default stuff. You can expect a speed range of like 200 to 250. So we're definitely getting better than that. We're getting around 300 to 400. Like I was getting, with the default, with the stock T-Mobile 5G home internet gateway. So we're getting around the same speeds we were getting with that. At least today, because it's a rainy day, so it's gonna cut your speeds in half, like I've said before. When it's bad weather, so you have to keep that in mind. That it's gonna, the weather is definitely gonna affect the speeds. So definitely not bad on that one though. 314 for the download, 6.58 for the upload, and 39 ping. Run, a couple more. So it does definitely seem to be staying connected now. So that's definitely a good thing. This one looks like it's going to be a little bit slower. But like I said, I'd rather deal with this, minor inconvenience, of the signal dropping sometimes, than deal with, terrible speeds, like 50 to 60 on the download. I'd definitely rather, have these speeds, than, and it does actually seem to be staying connected now. Like I said, 5G is spotty in our area. So like I said, I'm actually hoping that they are actually working on the towers. But I don't know how long that kind of stuff takes. I don't know if they're actually doing updates, like updates from the network itself. From T-Mobile itself, they're pushing out updates, to the towers themselves. And I don't know how long that would take. And they could also be doing physical updates, like updates on the tower, like actually going to the tower and actually replacing parts and components and stuff, and actually physically updating it. So if that's the case, like I've said in my other videos, when this has been going on, at least I think this is going on for other, customers as well. If that's the case, then it's gonna, probably cut some bands offline. And stuff like that. So, if you're, like me with only one tower near you, then you have to keep in mind, that you might, notice slower speeds because of them, updating stuff. They'll probably, shut down certain bands or something, or shut down 5G, maybe completely or something. So you have to keep that in mind. Like if you're locking onto a signal, like if you're locking on to certain bands, or you're locking on to certain, frequencies or whatever, you have to keep that in mind. If they have that shut down, then you're going to notice, slower speed. So you have to keep that in mind, with doing band locking. That's kind of the risk you take, because you never know if they're going to, shut down, one of those bands or something. So you just never know. It's very area specific, what bands you get and stuff, and what, your tower supports and all that kind of stuff. So you have to keep that in mind as well. And like I've said, also with the weather, we already get, like a fair, like a fair to weak 5G signal here. So, like with me without the waveform antenna, I already don't, really get good 5G signal here. So without the waveform antenna, it's even weaker. So you have to keep that in mind as well, so, I'll definitely be glad to get that antenna back up and running for sure. Because the antenna obviously is going to give you better, reception. It's going to give you better signal. It's going to give you better, speeds like you guys have seen in my videos. We're getting, we're getting, pretty much mediocre speeds. I mean, usable speeds. But, I wouldn't consider them mediocre. I'll just say good. I mean, I'll say good to fair, speeds, right now with the, without the waveform antenna. Basically like I was getting with the stock T-Mobile 5G home internet gateway. I'll just say that. But let me actually run a couple more here. So definitely not, too bad on that one. 241 for the download, 7.13 for the upload, and 31 ping. And it does seem to be staying connected, so that's definitely a good sign. I am actually walking around in my house right now. I'm actually upstairs, but I just actually got up not long ago, so my voice is kind of raspy still, probably. I have actually noticed with the upload that the upload has still been pretty bad. So the upload, I've actually noticed even with the waveform antenna connected for the past couple of weeks, it's actually been worse than we normally get. It's actually been not as good as we normally get. We don't really get good upload speed around here anyway. It doesn't matter what carrier you have. I've said that before in my videos. It doesn't matter what carrier you have, Verizon, T-Mobile, AT&T. It just doesn't matter. We just don't get good upload speed around here. But the download speed is a lot better than I actually thought that I would get with T-Mobile 5G home internet when I first got the service. Because I don't even get really good download speed on my phone with T-Mobile for my phone. So it was really surprising that I actually get better download speeds with the but you also have to keep in mind that my phone is not a big antenna like the waveform antenna. So you have to keep that in mind as well. My phone doesn't, have that kind of capability, to, hook up an external antenna to it. So you have to keep that in mind. And not only that, even the default gateway from T-Mobile, the stock T-Mobile 5G home internet gateway, that has better antennas in it than my phone does, I'm sure. And not only that, the Chester Cheetah one does as well. The Chester Cheetah version 2, one does as well. So, but not bad on that one. The upload was, pretty mediocre on that one, but I'm not, really that worried about it. So on that one, 428 for the download, 2.14 for the upload, and 33 ping. Run a couple more here. So it does seem to be staying connected. That's a really good sign. Yeah, the upload speed definitely seems to be suffering quite a bit though. So I still think they're doing something with the network, because it's still it's still giving me, mediocre upload speeds, and I don't really know why, honestly. So on that one, definitely not bad though for the downloads. 373, 4.81 on the upload, and 37 ping. Run a couple more. So yeah, as you can see, that's another ping spike that happened there. But that also could be because of the weather, and like I said, because of them working on the towers and stuff. I don't normally, see a ping spike like that, but that's actually really good for the download on that one. Especially with the ping being that high. So I don't really feed too much into that, because, like I said, it's got to be something to do with them working on the network and the towers or something, because it's still, even without the waveform antenna, it's still been acting very strange. It's been acting very weird. And like I showed you guys, in the video here, down detector is still indicating, that there's a lot of problems, at T-Mobile. It's not actually in the red or anything, but it's still, I can come in here and I can go to T-Mobile again, and it's still showing a lot of red, especially in my area. It's showing a lot of red, for mobile phone, 38% still. 5G home internet, that actually went down a few days ago. It was at like only 31% or something like that, but it's went back up, to 34%, and that's a lot. As you can see right there, the orange for the mobile phone, and the green, for the 5G home internet, and a lot of red. So that's definitely not good. Let me actually type in Verizon here and see what we get. So it doesn't look like Verizon has as many outages, or reported outages, but it is actually saying 49% for mobile phone for Verizon, so that's definitely not good. It's saying 15, or it's saying 17% for 5G home internet. Let me actually type in AT&T. So yeah, AT&T is actually having problems as well. They're actually a lot in the red, as you can see. Mobile internet is actually 30%. Landline internet is 29%. No signal, 22%. So that's definitely not good. Let me type in Metro here, because Metro is also owned. Well, that's actually not a good sign. Metro is actually owned by T-Mobile. So that's actually in the yellow. And it's actually saying user reports indicate possible problems at Metro by T-Mobile. So that's definitely not good. And as you can see, it's quite a bit of red, spread out. So that's definitely not a good thing. Let's see what it says here. Website 34%, mobile phone 29%, mobile internet 9%, no signal 18%. So that's definitely not good. So yeah, Metro is actually in the yellow, and it's actually saying user reports indicate possible problems at Metro by T-Mobile. So that's definitely not good. And like I showed you guys, it does look like T-Mobile is still having problems, with the network. So I don't know what's going on, guys. Your guess is as good as mine. Um, I really don't know what's going on with them. Some people have said that they had this problem, after they've had T-Mobile 5G home internet, for a few years. They said that it was great for a few years and then they started having problems. So I'm hoping that this is not going to be a long-term thing. I'm hoping that I can get around this, if it is something to do with the towers or the network. I'm hoping that they're going to get this solved soon. They'll get over this, tower modernization or whatever, and get it back up and running, how it needs to be. But it does seem to be staying connected now on the 5G. Locked on the 5G. My routers aren't messing up or anything. I'm still getting pretty decent speed on the download on this one 436 on the upload 7.69 yeah 113 ping, but that'll go back down, I can assure it. And as you can see, it did go back down. But still, I mean, it is acting weird. It's doing ping spikes again. It's acting. It's still acting weird. It's still giving. That now you have to keep in mind. Like I said, I'm not using the waveform antenna. So it's not going to get as strong of a signal. And like I said, we already get a fair to weak signal for 5G here. So you have to keep that in mind, that it's actually being locked on 5G, and at least until I get the waveform antenna back, and then I'll probably try to switch it back to, to NR 5G plus LTE. And if that gives me problems still, then I'll switch it back to, just NR 5G, standalone 5G. And see what that gives me, if it gives me any cutouts or anything, with the routers or anything with the internet. But you have to keep that in mind, that this is not as powerful as an antenna, as the waveform antenna connected to it. So you have to definitely, take that into consideration. And I'm walking around right now, to make sure the gateways and the modems and stuff are staying online. And they seem to be, so that's definitely a good thing. So like I said, it is raining out there today, so the speeds are going to fluctuate. So we've gotten some in the 200s, the 300s, occasionally 400 range. So that's going to happen, especially with a smaller antenna, compared to the waveform antenna. So not bad on this one though, still very usable. 269 for the download, 5.72 for the upload, and actually only 22 pings, so that's definitely not bad. So it does seem to be, yeah, it's messing up again. Yeah, it's offline again. So yeah, it's doing the same thing again. It's yeah, that's definitely not good. So it went offline for a second there, but it came back online. But I don't know, guys. I mean, I'm just not gonna keep putting up with this though. Even when I get the waveform antenna back, if it does this, I'm not gonna be I'm not gonna be happy at all. So on that one, download 300. I mean, not bad on that. But it did cut out there, as you guys could see. It was cutting out again. 308 for the upload, and only 29 ping. So definitely not too bad. But like I said, if it cuts out every now and then, I'm not really that worried about it. I know I got aggravated about that, but, I mean, it is frustrating because I wish that Waveform would email me back, and just send out this replacement, like right away, because it's just getting on my nerves, having to deal with this. So, on this one, 290 for the download, not bad. 2.44 for the upload, and that's pretty much terrible. But I'm gonna have to deal with it until I get the waveform antenna back. Um, and then 24 ping. So let me actually run one more here. So this one's definitely not bad at all. 434 on the download. So not bad on that one at all. On the last one, 434 for the download. That's actually really good. 7.87 for the upload. Not too bad on that. And then only 25 ping. But, I kind of did make this video a little bit longer than I actually wanted to. I've been on here for about 40 minutes now, so I'm actually going to get off of here and get something to eat. I actually haven't actually gotten anything to eat. I'm going to get something to eat, and relax and watch some TV or something. As long as if it cuts out a little bit, I'm not really that worried about it, until I get the waveform antenna back. It's not enough to actually stop the internet from working completely, or anything. It'll cut out every now and then. You guys could see that. And then it gave me the speeds right back, so I'm not really that worried about it. Plus, like I said, it is raining outside, so that's gonna, cause the 5G and the 4G signals to basically intervene with each other. So you have to keep that in mind as well. Bad weather is going to cause, signal, problems and stuff like that. It's kind of like a TV antenna, like I've said before. It's gonna cause problems. It's gonna either cause speed problems, or it's gonna cause like signal problems. And like I've said, on top of that, T-Mobile is most likely already having problems with what I've said. It seems like they're already having problems, with the network itself, whether it be tower monetization, or whatever they're doing. I don't really know what they're doing, guys. Your guess is as good as mine, but they've told me, that they're actually doing tower monetization around, near me. So I'm just gonna, take that as it is and, hope that they, get this stuff resolved and, get their network back up on par, how it needs to be, because a lot of people, have been complaining about not being able to send text messages. I'm actually one of them, that have actually, complained about it, not being able to send text messages, having problems, making calls, and the list goes on and on, drop calls. I try to make a call and it just drops. Error messages when I try to send text messages to people. My text messages not being received, from people that actually text me. I've had people say, "Have you got my message?" They message me on Facebook, and they tell me, I texted you, and I'm like, well, I didn't get it. And they're like, who do you have, T-Mobile or Verizon, or, and I'm like, I have T-Mobile, and they're like, oh, you need to get Verizon or something like that. And I'm like, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter, who you have, and I can't get Verizon for 5G home internet. All I can get is 4G home internet from them. So, I'm definitely not going to do that because I would definitely, be receiving slower speed. So, I know that, I know that for a fact. So, it is what it is, guys. Like I said, down detector is actually indicating problems, with Metro by T-Mobile, which is an MVNO of T-Mobile. And that was actually in the yellow. So it was actually saying, that it's indicating problems, so that's definitely not a good thing. And T-Mobile was actually still saying that they have a high percentage of users experiencing problems with the mobile phone and the T-Mobile 5G home internet. So I don't think there's anything really I can do until they actually resolve these problems. But anyway, yeah, guys, like I said, I'm gonna get off of here. I'm gonna get something to eat. I'll keep you guys updated on this. I'll let you guys know, about the waveform antenna. Hopefully they'll email me back today sometime, and I'll, get that resolved and get that back up and running. Like I said, I'd probably give it like a couple of days to a week or more, until I get the, replacement cable or the replacement. They might just send me out a whole new antenna. They might even send me out the newest version of the antenna, which I really don't want. So hopefully they'll actually send me out, the old antenna, because I actually like that one a lot better. That's just my opinion. It has a longer cable, and that's, basically what I want. I want the one that's actually been working best for me. So I definitely want to, keep that one if possible. So, but anyway, yeah, guys, like I said, I just wanted to get this video out there. And if you guys like this video, please like and subscribe. And until next time, guys.